Thank you, and good afternoon to you all. So I came here to introduce you to our food festival that we are organizing for the 8th year this year. We do it in city of Bratislava in Slovakia, and I came from the organization called Ozer Vegánske hody. It was named after the festival we are actually doing. I would like to guide you through the basics. Why we are doing this and how are we doing this. Then I will guide you to our development in history, like how the beginnings looked like, what were the major breakthroughs, and how it does look today or in the last few years. I will also tell you something about the opportunities that organizing a vegan food festival will bring you, and also the challenges and pitfalls that goes along the way. So let me begin. The main topic of our activities is, as you might know, food. The food is actually the main reason for the biggest amount of animal suffering. Most of the animals die and suffer in animal agriculture. So it should be actually the most important part we should focus if we want to promote veganism. Also, food can be the most important part in achieving a change in this problem. So food actually plays a crucial role in changing the dietary habits of the majority eating animal products. The problem is the vegan food is usually clouded with a lot of myths. Vegan food is usually perceived as bland, unattractive, unappealing, without the taste, and it's generally thought to be some kind of sacrifice you have to go through if you want to avoid animal products. This is actually the biggest problem you have to, or biggest obstacle in spreading veganism in the society, because you can show people that the compassion is really necessary and desirable, that not eating animals is not only compassionate but also sustainable. But it all goes down to having a food that is appealing. If there is not an alternative that is perceived as appealing, all the compassion and desire to be sustainable goes down the drain, because people don't see a way how they could really live this way. So if you break down this problem to simple terms, if the vegan food and the alternative you are looking for is perceived as bad and unappealing, it's a deal breaker. If the food you are presenting looks like a typical normal food or even more attractive, it has the potential to create the important bond between the desire to be compassionate and sustainable and actual everyday acts leading to fulfilling these goals. So in order to deal with this problem, we set the 4 basic goals we have to achieve. At first, we have to deconstruct all the myths regarding vegan food. This means we have to show that vegan food can be appealing, interesting, tasty, colorful, and there's also a high variety of the vegan food. Also, one of the myths is connected to unavailability of the food. Even if you tell the people and show them that the food can be interesting, they still think that it's really hard to get some vegan food because there are no vegan restaurants, there are no vegan alternatives in common supply chains. So the next step is to show that going vegan is actually quite easy. It's not much of a problem. You have to show there are plenty of vegan alternatives, like vegan restaurants, shops with vegan alternatives, and also plenty of vegan alternatives in common supply chains and supermarkets. The next step, when you show these alternatives, is to foster them, to help them grow, to help them multiply, and to provide as many alternatives as you can in your region. This means the shops and the vegan enterprises in your region have to thrive. They have to get some propagation and promotion, and they also have to be sustainable in an economic sense. And the last step that is crucial is to normalize veganism. Today, veganism, at least in Slovakia, is still considered something really strange. If you ask somewhere for a vegan food, it will raise many brows and people will look strange, like, well, like, what do you want? And what the hell is veganism? or vegan food. This is another obstacle we can tackle with creating a vegan food festival. But the festival seems to grow every year. It seems to double the number of restaurants and also double the number of attendees. If you can show that with vegan food you can organize a big food festival that is comparable to common food festivals based mostly on animal products, you can show that veganism is not that something obscure or something really strange or unnormal, and make it a common thing, so people will not frown upon you when you ask for some vegan alternatives in your shops or in your restaurants. So let's look how this all happened. We started our festival in the year 2009 with really small ambitions. That was never a plan to grow to something big as it is today. And we started in a small punk rock club. It was a very subcultural venue. It has a small garden, as you might see from this blurry photo. We actually didn't have many skilled photographs at the time, so it looked like this. Actually, it's like a few dozen people, which grew maybe to a few hundred after the 4 years. But the first moment we decided to do this was after 1 year of doing some documentary screenings in the club. And we always prepared some vegan burgers, by the way, so we could get some funds to pay for the venue and all the promotion. And it was a huge success every time, so we decided to make one completely vegan event, where there will be some vegan documentaries dealing with animal rights and animal suffering. And we decided to invite some of our friends to cook some vegan foods, their favorite foods. There was some hummus, there was some pizza, I believe, some goulash, and just basic things. So everybody cooked maybe 100 portions of food. We put it together, invited some people, and we were surprised that more than 150 or 200 people came, and all the food was gone in maybe 19 minutes. We did this with actually no budget at all, but due to the huge success, we continued for another years to come. We were able to raise the attendance to maybe, the top was about 400 people, and we were actually able to invite another friends and also people from outside. We just opened the registrations and told anyone could come, could prepare their favorite vegan food and give it to people for free or sell it to them. It wasn't a public space, so it was actually easy to deal with selling stuff without all the regulations. What happened was that after 4 years, the venue closed down. And we stood in front of a decision whether we will continue and try to go public or we will leave it behind us. Well, we decided that we could at least give it a try and we will see what happened. It was another surprise for us because we decided to go to public in a full scale. So we went to a big city park in the city center. And we were able to invite first professional cooks from restaurants. There was at the time maybe 4 or 5 vegan restaurants in Bratislava. So we invited these. We again invited some amateur cooks. And for the first time we invited media. We actually managed to get to main news in the evening. That seen maybe 8% of population could actually see that we managed to do a vegan food festival. And we attracted more than 2,000 visitors. We actually didn't expect this to happen, so the whole event was about standing in never-ending lines. So the demand was really awesome. We actually stumbled upon first problems dealing with sales of the food. Because it was a public venue, we have to deal what to do with the amateur cooks that couldn't actually sell food legally. So we have to create the legal framework to allow them sell food to other people. After that, we continued to grow really rapidly. The number of professional restaurants and shops grew to 17. We also invited first shops selling vegan food and some cosmetics not tested on animals. And we were still able to invite more than 20 amateur cooks. We actually got first time we got some money from local government, and the attendance again doubled to more than 4,000 visitors. And this continued until last year, when again almost all the numbers doubled. We had more than 30 shops and restaurants. We got 20 amateur kitchens, and we also started to invite non-profit organizations dealing with social problems that also prepared vegan food and provided to our visitors. Despite very bad weather, more than 8,000 visitors came. So it again grew rapidly. And on the photo you can see just part of the festival. There are still parts that are hidden by the text and also by the trees, and also those that didn't fit into the photograph really. In the last year we managed to make some profit, so we decided it's time to try to expand to another city. So we tried to make this event in the second largest city in Slovakia, in Košice. And we had also very small plans. We decided that we don't want to do anything big at the start because we don't know how it will go on. So we decided to invite just some small kitchens and amateur cooks. But the Facebook event grew after 2 weeks to more than 1,000 people. So we actually had to invite all the restaurants in the region and also outside of the region. And in the end, more than 2,000 people came. As you see in this photo, the venue filled in after maybe 10 minutes completely. So it was also a surprising success. And the demand is still too much for us to fulfill. So after the breakthrough, in the last 3 years, we managed to increase the number of visitors from 400 to more than 8,000. On our biggest event in Bratislava. From our surveys, it came out that we have actually quite balanced visitors. Usually 1/3 of them are vegans, 1/3 vegetarians, and 1/3 omnivores. During the 3 years, we introduced 3 new sections. So there are still amateur cooks. We also have restaurant section with shops, and also section with non-profit organizations. But with all the growth, also the expenses grew really terribly. From the last year in the punk rock venue, it was around 700 euros. The last year in Bratislava costed more than 12,000 euros, which is a really crazy amount of money after the 3 years. But it was really worth the money. Besides that, 3 new vegan enterprises emerged from among our amateur kitchens. For many of them, it was an opportunity to test their skills, and for many of them it was also a breaking point where they decided to start their own enterprise. The last one actually opened this Friday. Also, one restaurant that attended our events was so influenced by the great demand that they decided to completely veganize their restaurant. We also invited non-vegan restaurants, and this one changed their menu to complete vegan menu. What was really nice was major media attention we received. Every of these events from the last 3 years got to the main news. And also we were able we were actually invited to a live morning TV show where we can cook vegan foods and also talk about the veganism based mostly at this event and the connections we gained by organizing this event. So we actually have opportunity to promote veganism to about maybe 8% of Slovak population, which I consider pretty cool. And we were actually successful in replicating the event in the city of Košice. I think it was a really interesting growth in the last 3 years. And I was trying to sum up what were the important parts and what actually worked and what didn't. The most important part of the event are today restaurants. We don't invite only the vegan ones, but we also invite the vegetarian ones and also the omnivore restaurants that have some vegan options, or those who want to start implementing them in their actual menus. This is also a good way to raise funds for the event because all the restaurants pay some basic entry fee, and we also take part of their profits. What is crucial is to make environment when you can invite small businesses. Small businesses usually don't have all the papers and all the permissions they need to sell food on such festivals, so we have to create a legal framework for them to do that legally. This might not be the case in every country, but Slovakia has one of the strictest regulations regarding hygiene, and that's the most important part. What was quite successful were also vegan shops, providing only vegan foods. But it really does not work well with e-shops. E-shops actually were not very successful for the day. The second very important part are NGO kitchens and amateur cooks. Amateur cooks were there from the beginning, and we still keep them, and we want to keep them for the future. The main reason is that it really gives them opportunity to test their skills. Many of them became professional vegan cooks, or they started their own enterprises. So this is a really important part of the event. And also, they're still able to cook a large amount of vegan food, and sometimes even better than the professional cooks. So it's a really important part of the event. And it works really well because they also invite their friends, their families, and show them that the vegan food is really something big, so it's not something obscure. The new concept we introduced last year were NGO kitchens. Actually, organizations dealing with homeless people with disabilities, and also with refugees, which was an actual topic in Slovakia. We offered them an option so they could raise some funds for their cause. So all they had to do was to prepare some vegan food and sell them and give us part of their profits if there were any. This was actually a great success. The organization that was helping the homeless people was able to raise more than 2,000 euros just by selling vegan food on our festival. And we also give them opportunity to spread their cause and also to connect these social movements, and also this came out like this organization dealing with people with disabilities. They're making their own catering firm, and there are actually many vegan options now at the menu. Important part of the event is having interesting program. The main part are lectures. There is a program from the early morning until the end of the event. We usually invite non-profit organizations from the region, and we also try to get some interesting speakers from other countries. And every year we're trying to make the discussion tent as big as possible. This talk, what you see up there, is a talk of Martin Koval, which he's a vegan ultra runner. So he runs in some extreme conditions, and he's still able to maintain a vegan diet. So he was sharing his experience with this. Second important part are non-profit organizations dealing with issues of animal liberation, animal rights, and also environment protection. We also invite their infotents so they can provide some additional education on the event, and also to a few of them we provide an opportunity to present their actual projects and campaign in the discussion tent. And what is extremely important is to have some decent music in the background of the event. We always invite some local DJs. They usually pay for free or just for some plenty of food we can provide. And they really create the important part of the event, which is the atmosphere. That's the part which really keeps the people at the venue and makes a very pleasurable experience from the visit. For fundraising reasons, it's really important to have your own kitchen. We actually started with preparing our own vegan burgers, and we invested the little funds in our own tent and all the stuff we needed to prepare some vegan burgers. And we actually this year we made 3 warm-up parties with vegan barbecues, and just by selling the vegan burgers we were able to raise more than 1,000 euros from every of this event. So it's a really important source of funds if you want to organize something big like this. Also, this is a photo from the morning cooking TV show we were invited to. It's a really great opportunity to promote your event. and also to raise some additional funds, because they also promote your upcoming events, also show your webpage. So this is a way when you can really get the attention. And it was also the combination of our own kitchen as a proof that we can really prepare some food and not just talk about it, and also the event. So this was very lucky circumstances. Well, the next point is, why do I think it really works? I think we don't have any scientific background in this, and then no deep analysis that I could present, but this is what I really think make the event worthwhile. At first, we are able to work with both supply and demand, which is a situation which many corporations are trying actually to achieve, because you can make the market grow really easily. We actually are trying to influence also the existing restaurants, and also to help the new restaurants start. Also, this means that many of the non-vegan restaurants that attended the event started to promote more vegan foods in their menus. There was the one that was actually veganized, and also the amateur cooks provide new opportunities in the city and outside the city to gain some vegan food. That's the supply part. On the other hand, we're working with the demand. So by making the vegan food more attractive and more visible, we are attracting new people to see that the vegan food is really a working alternative. We can therefore work with both of them, and which is leading to continuous growth. Also, a food festival is quite modern and attractive form of food presentation. In Bratislava, there are actually 3 or 4 food festivals. There are all the time some new emerging, dealing with some street food, and some other kinds of food, like raw food and stuff like this. So it is really a way that people are open to. I would like to visit to see something new, especially when there's no entrance fee for them, so they can just come free and see what is happening there. What we are trying to achieve is a strong and positive experience that people can have from this event. This is strengthened by the music background, and also the variety of the food, and also the looks of the festival. This is the important part, that the approach has to be as professional as you can. So we have to invest a lot in the good-looking tents, in a professional graphic designers and photographers in order to be able to promote it. Not as a grassroots event, but as something that is really done professionally. And this is actually something that our partners really like, and it's actually something that really works for us. And also apart from the part of the positive experience gained on the event is that we try not to shame people for not being vegans, and be as open and warm as possible in this manner. So we actually do not show them any pictures from slaughterhouses, and don't show any movies that are full of violence and stuff like this. We try to keep it positive and show them the alternatives that are available. Actually, we've got some, at least a bit useful data we were able to gather from Google Trends that actually shows you how many times, or the relative numbers of searches of word vegan in Slovakia in the last years. The 2 peaks you can see there with the arrows are the months where we actually did our main events. It was Veganské hody Bratislava 2014 and 2015. This at least partially answered our long-lasting question whether we are only riding on the trend of rising veganism, or if we are really influencing this. I believe that this looks quite more on the side that we really make some difference. So this is one of the reasons why I believe there is still something important in doing vegan food festivals. Well, and for the future, there are still some opportunities and also some challenges we have to go through. On the opportunities part, this event is a great place for fundraising. You can actually get some funds from the restaurants, even advance from the entry fee, and also by taking part of their profits. And also you can fundraise further. In Slovakia, you can assign a part of your taxes every year, and you can, if you have a company, or even if you don't, you can assign them to some non-profit organizations. We were managed at least, it's still running, so we were able to influence at least 10 of them to give us part of their taxes. So this is actually a good option to build fundraising relations with them, which you can use even in other future events. The great potential I see is the vegan enterprise incubator. You can make on the food festival and give the amateur cooks the opportunity to start their own enterprise. This was the story of the one restaurant that opened maybe 2 months ago. They tried this for first time. They never cooked any food for anyone in a public space. And they managed to win one challenge we made on the event. So people, all the visitors, could vote for the best kitchen on the festival. And these 2 girls actually won the challenge. They were really surprised that this actually happened. And this was the breaking point for them to start thinking about opening their own vegan enterprise. And after we realized this, we started to try to make some contacts with some organization dealing with startups and providing education to starting enterprises. So we are trying to connect this so we could provide some means for them to start their own businesses as easy as possible. During these events, we have opportunity to further the growth of the existing vegan businesses. They are able to make some profit from the event, and what is most important, they are able to promote themselves. Usually the small vegan enterprises don't have a lot of funds to invest into marketing and promotion. This is actually a great option for them to be visible and to influence on other people and get new customers. Also, as I mentioned, we are able to veganize the non-vegan restaurants and shops there we work directly with, and also those that we do not work with. Actually, when you have enough media coverage, all the other restaurants and shops can see the rise of vegan demand, and they react to it. They have no other option, actually. Also, by creating a big representative event, you are able to normalize veganism and make it something that is quite common for all the people and not something obscure. And if your growth stops or slows down, you can still expand to new markets and penetrate the markets in some regions with smaller cities when there is actually no vegan market at all. So there are always new options what you can do. And as I mentioned, the contacts with the restaurants will bring you useful fundraising relationships and also options to work with them in the future events. And also, if you manage to make it look professional, you actually get a lot of attention of a lot of important stakeholders in the region that will provide you with new opportunities, like was the one in the morning TV show, actually. This was achieved due to professionality and due to presentation we are able to maintain. But there are also a lot of problems and challenges we have to deal with. Some are less important, some are pretty hard to go through. And the first manageable one is that this is really a resource-intensive activity. In the beginning, it's quite easy. You just get together a few friends, get a cheap venue, and start off. You don't really have to care about a lot of stuff. Later, it gets complicated every year due to the unstoppable growth of the event and all the problems that connect with it. So you actually need still ever-growing team of professionals from different professions. You need accounting, you need lawyers, graphical designers, and a lot of other people just to make the event go. Also, it requires a lot of funds and a lot of hours of preparation. So it's not very easy to maintain a big event. What seems to be a very big problem this year is the state bureaucracy. In Slovakia, there's a lot of corruption and a lot of very Soviet-era bureaucracy still running. So we actually had to move the event every year. And this year we stumbled upon a problem that we actually had no other place to go, and actually the city hall, well, stalling our. I'm missing the word. We wanted to make it on the same square as the last year, and they had 40 days to reply to our request. Actually, they replied after more than 100 years, and after some small medialization and some letters to the city hall. And actually, we have to take the city hall to the court, or actually to prosecution, to get through this. So we're actually in a position where we probably won't have any place to do this even in the future if we don't succeed in this effort with prosecution. So this seems to be the biggest issue for the future. Also, the state of affairs of hygiene regulation in Slovakia and sales also changed a little bit. So we are actually almost unable to invite foreign restaurants to this event, which is a really bad change. And we have to completely change the legal framework we created for the small businesses and amateur cooks. So this is a pretty big complication. From the other kind of problems, with even like this, it's rather difficult to recruit the new people and delegate some tasks to them, because it's actually not the very interesting part of activism in in the animal rights movement, because there's a lot of administrative work, a lot of sales included, and a lot of stuff that is not really interesting at all, but it is really necessary to keep it running and to achieve a big festival. So there's not really other way to do it, but it's actually hard to find someone who would like to do it and will do it reliably. And there's also something that will be there, I believe, for many years to come, and that is the need to keep up with the growth of the festival. The demand for the vegan food keeps rising, the number of vegan restaurants keep rising, and you actually have some opportunities to regulate it and to slow it down, but I don't think it's a really good idea to slow down this progress. So it actually forces you to keep up with the growth, and combined with the difficulty in recruitment and delegation, it gets a more difficult task every year. Well, so this is actually all I've got prepared. I was thinking about preparing also some starter kit for you, but I wouldn't fit to the 30 minutes. So thank you then.
Yes, thank you so much.